All right, we're back.
We're back.
Yeah, man.
All right. So I don't
Hot
know.
mics.
What is it? Memorial Day weekend is
Yeah.
upon us.
Yeah. Wow.
It is hot and humid, so we know summertime is here.
Yep.
And what an by the way, Paul Reed here, your host, with my co-host Jason Crawford.
Right on.
And I'm going to launch with that wonderful intro right into the topic of the day.
Okay.
Because I, on occasion, asked Leanne, my wonderful daughter, to blow off the driveway. And on the driveway, we have sticks, leaves, and sometimes grass and different things of that nature. Now,
Yeah.
I blow off the driveway. I take it to the end of the road. I have a garbage can. I pick up a lot of the leaves and stuff. But Leanne, on the other hand, not so much. She thinks the road is her garbage.
Is the repository.
Now, a couple of things about that is, number one, there's actually a Hillsborough County ordinance prohibiting one from doing that. It's Hillsborough Chapter 1-15-08. And it says, it shall be a violation of this section for a person to wash, sweep, blow, or otherwise cause grass, clippings, leaves, or other vegetative material to be deposited into, and then it says storm drains, ditches, drainage conveyances, sewer systems, surface waters, or roadways. Okay, so why are we talking about that from a personal injury lawyer's point of view, Jason? Why are we talking about that?
I don't know that all of that applies, like the storm drains and stuff. I can see where they would clog, but that doesn't, from a personal injury standpoint.
Let's stick to the roadway.
Yeah. I would think by like bicyclists or I don't know, people coming by might slip on them, maybe.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay.
Believe it or not, wet grass is like ice to a motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you have now blown your grass out onto the roadway. It gets damp from dew or otherwise rain. Motorcyclist comes by at 40 miles an hour and wipes out.
Yeah.
You're sitting there having a beer with a hot dog watching the Rays game when a process server knocks on your door and hands you a complaint. You're being sued. And Jason says, why? What did I do? And then he reads the complaint and he says, you're being sued for $1 million because the motorcyclist, who probably wasn't wearing a helmet, has brain damage. And you're being sued because you blew your grass, leaves, or otherwise out onto the road and you caused this crash.
That's
and
heavy.
You Jason are thinking, this is ridiculous. It is not.
Yeah.
It is not. So
I would probably be thinking I'm an idiot.
You would first wonder what the heck's going on. And here's the deal. Believe it or not, now if who might pay for this stupidity?
Ooh, I don't know if I have any protection from that. It's in the roadway. I don't know that I would have any.
We would seek to recover from your homeowner's policy.
Homeowners, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, most people don't have a personal liability policy, but if you did, we would seek to recover from that.
Okay.
I don't know your neighborhood, but I have seen on numerous occasions. Well, and let me Quentin Tarantino, everybody. Let's go back. Do you know who else I've seen blow yard waste into the street pretty much daily during the summertime?
Landscaping companies?
There you go.
I was wondering if we were going to get to that.
I
was holding a question for that.
Who are we kidding? You have seen landscapers blow, especially the main thoroughfares. I've seen here on Lumpson, which is right outside of my office. I've seen them blow yard waste into the street regularly. And you know who else deposits street yard waste into the street, the person on the lawnmower that doesn't have a bagger. You see them?
Yeah.
They're going down the roadway. They shoot the grass into the street, not
Yeah.
necessarily blowing it there, but they
Yeah.
cause the grass to be deposited there. They're also on the hook.
I don't think it would change much. Like maybe in the court proceedings as things move on, but like our landscaping company in our neighborhood, they do a fairly good job of bagging things up. I see the bags around all the time, but as they're working, stuff gets blown out before they've had a chance to collect it. And in that interim time, if something happened, would that play out the same way?
Well, that would be your affirmative defense.
Right. Okay.
Meaning the defendant would say, look, we mow the yard and it's our procedure to clean it up. Unfortunately, we just didn't get to it fast enough.
Right.
And the jury may very well say, yeah, this is one of those things happens, so to speak.
Right. Yeah.
Where, then of course the lawyer get into, well, what's your policies, procedures for blowing it into the yard versus into the street? And
bro, that would end up like the death trial. You'll have some of the neighbors who are like, that company always leaves leaves around, and some people are like, oh no, they clean up really well.
Yeah,
like, that'd get nasty quick.
Well, exactly. And so so you would have an affirmative defense that we take pride in not doing that and so forth and so on.
Sure.
But it's like anything. Some don't. I've seen them just blowing crap into the road on, like I said, on major thoroughfares, and the cars just blow it down the street.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what happens when my wonderful daughter Leanne blows off the driveway.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, and again, of course, you got to remember, insurance companies don't like injuries.
No.
And so the more that someone's hurt, well, the less they may fight because, a lot of different reasons, but their job is to protect you from having to pay any money out of your pocket. And so,
in a situation like mine, where let's say I live in a community that's got an HOA and we have landscaping work that's done, and then there's a property management company who if you're looking for personal injury recovery, who are you looking for it from? Out of like, where do you
all of the above
things?
All of them. Yeah, certainly the landscaping company. You would seek to recover from the property manager that hired them, and then the HOA, but that's not so easy.
Yeah.
The landscaping company, if they're at fault, that would be the easiest avenue.
Yeah.
Now, if the what is it? The second one, the maintenance, the company.
Yeah, property management.
Now, if the property management knew that this company was depositing grass and things into the roadway, maybe they had complaints, or you could just see them doing it on a regular basis for 6 months or otherwise, then certainly the more knowledge that one has, the more you can impute liability to them.
Yeah.
If it was a brand new company and day two, they deposit the grass into the street. So remember the facts really dictate responsibility quite often in the facts of what happens, and one fact can mean somebody's responsible, and another fact pattern could mean they're not. And I'll just give you a real quick example, like on slip and falls. I'm following behind you at the grocery store, and you have eggs in your cart, and I'm 10 feet behind you, and we're in the whatever aisle, and you drop the eggs, and then less than a minute later, I come, I slip, I fall, and I break my back. Okay.
Yeah.
The grocery store is not going to be responsible because A, they didn't know the eggs were there, and B, they did not have time to clean the eggs up. Boom. I would not be able to prevail against the grocery store. Yeah. However, if you drop some eggs, you go to the manager, the bag boy, the whomever, and say, look, clean up on aisle 5, I dropped some eggs. And then 5 minutes later, I go strolling through, I slip on the eggs, I break my back, now they're on the hook. So I slipped and fell, those facts are the same. You drop the eggs, those facts are the same. I slipped on the eggs. Those facts are the same. The difference in me recovering or not is you telling Publix or Winn-Dixie or Save-A-Lot or whomever,
Yeah.
the grocery store, that the eggs were there, they didn't clean it up, versus them not having an opportunity and knowing.
Yeah.
So just that one little fact changes whether I can recover or whether I can't. And so with the topic of today, the facts would dictate to some degree or a large degree on whether or not the perpetrator of the leaves into the road would be responsible.
Yeah, as a person, I tend to not pride myself on not making mistakes, but I tend to want to be mistake free, right? It just blows my mind, because the thought is that there's always something I've missed in the back of my head, like, well, but what did I miss? But what did I miss?
Yeah.
And it's just blows my mind that, like you said, you could be watching a Rays game, having a beer and a hot dog, and that knock on the door, and it's like, oh, I blew the leaves in the road. And it can change lives, like that. So simple, such a small thing to pick up the leaves after you blow.
And it's funny.
It can be so huge.
It's a terrible mind to waste. But another thing that I saw literally today, it kind of made me think of this coming to work. Somebody's sprinklers in their yard, right, went past the yard into the roadway.
Ooh.
Think about that. Your windows are down, sprinkler blasts you in the eye, you smoke oncoming traffic or a tree, or like you said, a bicyclist.
Wow.
Or a motorcyclist.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, and who thinks of that? Who thinks?
Yeah.
My sprinklers are on.
I'm at work. I don't see when they come on. I don't know what they're shooting.
So another heads up. Property owners,
yes.
make sure your sprinklers stay within the confines of your property.
Yeah.
And again, who does that?
And hire someone to be responsible for this so that you aren't.
Well, I mean,
no, I'm kidding.
no, I'm just that's another thing that
it's wild.
You have to be cautious of, because people don't think of it honestly until there's a catastrophic injury.
Right.
Then it's like
suddenly it's important.
Yeah, then it's like, oh yeah, no, I can see where that caused a problem. What do you mean? Well, the sprinklers hit the motorcyclist in the face. He swerved to the left and got hit head on, and he took a headshot through the windshield.
Yeah.
And now he's paralyzed and
or talk.
Oops. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, that's the topic. That's the discussion. Try to do the best you can. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Our Tampa Bay Lightning are moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. We don't know quite yet who they're playing. Number 2, your Tampa Bay Rays defeated those Miami Marlins for 2 games, and those Stankies are coming into town tonight. I hope we can sweep them, even though they're on a roll. I guess with that, we're out.
What better claim to fame than to shut down someone's hot roll? That's awesome.
Exactly. All right, Jason, take us out of here.
You got it.